Hello, in this video I will be going over IELTS Speaking Part 2. This will include the procedure and time, the cue cards and types of questions you can expect, and how to practice. After the Part 1 speaking is finished, the examiner will say something exactly like this. So now I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Okay. Well, here's some paper and a pencil for making notes. And here's your topic. Describe a foreign country or culture you want to learn more about. So you can see at this point, now you've heard the question, the examiner has given you the topic, and it's time to start preparing for 1 minute. Well, let's move on to talk about the types of questions or cue cards you will encounter. They are usually in the past, but not always. There may be a question about the future, and in those questions you'll hear the expression would. What would you like? There are 3 bullet points, and you should cover them all, and this actually will help you a lot because you do have to speak for a long time, so it's good to have talking points to keep you going for 2 minutes. Now, by far, the most popular type of question here is about the past. And here's an example. Describe a time when a family member asked you for help. And then you should say when it was, who asked you, and how you helped that person. And again, it's good to follow the bullet points. Here's an example of a future question. Describe a new public building you would like to visit. And again, listen for that word would or want to in some questions. And again, you should say where it is, what the building is like, and why you would like to visit it. And there are some questions that talk about the present. Describe a person you know who has interesting ideas and opinions. And you should say who the person is, what the person's job is, and why you think his or her ideas are interesting. Many people wonder how many different questions there might be. Well, the answer is 48, but it actually might be more than that. It depends on which region you are in the world. There is a North American region, a European region, and an Asian region. So there's actually 6 different books. Now, many of the questions are similar, but there are a lot of questions out there. So in your area, there will be 48 different questions. And it's really hard to prepare for all of them, but it is a good idea to practice some questions where you talk about the past, some questions where you talk about the future, and some present questions. And it will be a similar format for speaking for each. Now let's talk about how you can prepare. It's a little bit strange in that you will need to speak for 2 minutes. So it's a very, very good idea to practice speaking for 2 minutes. You can use a timer and make sure that you're speaking. You have to speak for at least 1 minute, but the examiner will ask you to keep going for 2 minutes. So that means think about maybe spending about 40 seconds per bullet point and try to keep going, giving examples. And be sure to record yourself. It's hard to catch your mistakes while you're speaking, but if you go back and you listen to yourself, you will find grammatical and vocabulary areas that you're making, and you'll know they are errors, and you can fix them the next time you talk about it. Well, I hope you found that helpful. That is what you can expect on an IELTS Speaking Part 2. And I wish you the best of luck on your next IELTS test.